Greetings, everybody. I'm sitting in the sauna and it's blazing in here. This place has become my sacred space where I just, process the downloads and think and talk to my guides. And as I'm sitting in here, I decided I wanted to talk about this. A piggyback on that video that I uploaded yesterday about, our people having to run back and forth to safety because they fear these new rules or these new laws that are being enforced as it relates to their illegal status. And the more I think about it, the more it upsets me. I intended to talk about this, and I wanted to use the same scripture that we're often given, and it is useful for a lot of things, but we tend as Black people just to use the negative things in there, not the things to uplift us. And when people throw negative things from the Bible on us, we absorb it, we don't reject it. You see people who claim that they're in this special walk with their God, and all they do is make trouble and use scripture to justify their nastiness. And so I didn't want to justify nastiness. I wanted to put some scriptures out here so we'll understand ourselves as a people. As Black people, we are a nation that is blessed. And listen, this video won't go very far if you don't share it. So I'm asking you to share and to like, if you like it. If you don't like it, I don't want you to do that. But I want you to remember everything I'm saying in this video. First and foremost, you got everybody and their grandpa and grandma wanting to disrespect Black people, regardless of where we are in the world. And we can look at that two ways. We could say, well, we are salt, and absorb that into your spirit. Or you can say, we must be really blessed for people to be so hateful, because in real life, people don't hate on people that are not progressive. People don't hate on people that are, just not doing anything. When you see negativity towards you, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing right? Because this is how the enemy works. Now, let's talk about Jamaica. In Jamaica, you have, the motto, out of many we are one. And so as Black people, we embrace our heritage as far as, accepting, and I'm talking about the Jamaican heritage, as far as accepting everybody, regardless of where they come from. So nobody in Jamaica who comes from a different place, from a foreign country, can say that Jamaicans treat them bad. In fact, our people will treat their family and their friends worse than they would a stranger. And so it isn't because we are not kind or good to other people why they are doing these things to our people. It's because we fail to see and remember what our ancestors went through. We fail to look and see that the more things change, the more they remain the same. Now, as I said earlier, you got Chinese or Asian people in Jamaica, you got white, you have, just name all these different races living in Jamaica. And Jamaican people are not attacking or saying that they can't stay there. In fact, when I go home on vacation, and sometimes before I come back, I stay at some of these resorts, and I see people from around the world, and it always makes me feel good to see them enjoying our culture. But they don't want the same for us. So regardless of where we go and build, and this is from our time with our ancestors after they were forcibly removed from Africa and brought to America to build the place under this hostility and this bondage, we still see that our people are treated the worst in the United States of America. Black and brown people, really go through a difficult time. You see the prison system is filled with our people. And you ask yourself the question, or do you? Why? Some of us already know the answer. Okay, so until we understand ourselves as a people, until we have memories that we do not cancel, because we're always willing to cancel out the memories. No one else forgets the story. No one forgets the story of their ancestors, but we do. And I'm saying, should we walk around angry? No, but you don't have to be one or the other. You don't have to be one extreme or the other. Remembering your past, remembering your history, remembering the angst of our foreparents is very important. And also, when you see people coming out and make these statements and behave, not just statements, because action is louder than voice. You know, what they're showing is that, oh, we don't need you. Now, you're going to say, well, people are living in the United States of America or other parts of the world who are there legally and are welcome. But the truth of the matter is, we are only as good as our last performance. So even in environments where we are praised and lauded, we're not allowed to make mistakes, because if we do, you know, all of a sudden the hammer is going to fall heavily on our people. Now, every little rat bat, every little creature from the underworld has say and have say over our people, get to decide where we live, where we can't live. Even in Africa, when you look at South Africa, you see people telling black skin or melanated people to get out of South Africa. So it seemed like we have no abiding city. You know, the old people would say, you got no abiding city. So what is left? Because of the parts that would say belong to us, because every nation of people have a continent that belongs to them. Africa is our continent. You know, in the Caribbean areas, it's predominantly black people. And yet you got folks coming from around the world to set up their hotels. And what they do, they bring the, you know, melanated people, the people of Jamaica, to work in their hotels. And like I'm saying to you, I get up in the morning at 7 and I see the same people working at 10 at night. Or people working at 10 o'clock at night, like slaves in these environments with very little respect and security. And so, you know, you see all these persons who are always come to show their truth. You know, we can't be mad at them, because the thing is, we should be mad at ourselves, because we thought that things have changed. And these are the very ones. Examine the name. These are the ones who did it in the past. It's the same people that are doing it. It's the same people that are exploiting our people. The same people who are abusing our people. The same people who are expelling or displacing our people. It's the same ones. Okay? So if we go to Jamaica, let's use that as a point of reference, because that's where I'm from. You see our own people, the ones who were left on the old slave plantation, because that's what Jamaica is. The old slave plantation has these persons who are prepared to sacrifice their own people. In fact, you could never be a prime minister of Jamaica unless you clearly demonstrate that you have the ability to sell out. See, the ones in the past who cared about the people, for example, Michael Manley, you know, you see what happened to his government. You see the kind of fights that he got. Any one of these guys who take position of power in Jamaica must clearly demonstrate that they are prepared to tighten the leash or the noose. And so when you see what other people are doing, you shouldn't really be so hurt or angry about what they're doing. You have to understand that our people, like they did in Africa, continue to betray their own people. What excuse does the Prime Minister of Jamaica have for not creating jobs, for not allowing the people to be able to remain in their country? There are people who are taking flight risks, entering through strange borders, entering to different countries, just because they're suffering so much in Jamaica. The billions of dollars that the Jamaican government borrow from the IMF, and the billions of dollars that are given to them by other nations, where is that money? Why are jobs not created for people? Why would someone risk their life to go to a place where they know they're hated and still take the chance just because they might gain some opportunity. So you have to really look at this, to look at the big picture. Is it about that governor who says, I don't want you here because you don't have proper paper? Or is it about this sellout, the evil ones in our midst? They get the money for infrastructure. They get the money to create, and improve the economy. They get the money for education. They're getting money in all of these areas. They're getting money from different organizations, from the United Nations, from all these different agencies. They get the money, and yet the people are suffering. So if your own people don't like you, and the ones who have clearly demonstrated that resentment towards our people for generations, why are we not understanding this? Every one of these people who enforce these rules where they're saying, we don't want you here, and they're not hiding, they make it very clear, we don't want you here, all over Europe, whether the people are from the continent of Africa or, we are the descendants of African people, wherever we are in the world, people don't want us around. And you see black people saying how much they can't stand each other. You see all these other persons, coming out to say that they can't stand. And now people have to be politically correct, so they won't say the words, but the actions speak louder. Who do you blame in this blame game? You blame yourself and you blame your own people. And it says, okay, so we see the situation, we understand, what are we going to do about it? It is an individual thing. You're going to have to work on yourself, your body, mind, and spirit. You're going to have to figure it out and find other persons who share the common ideas or ideologies and work with these ones. If truth be told, if I had to leave Jamaica to go somewhere else to live for the opportunity that it presents, I don't know if I would see America in this time as that place. America is no longer that place. It's not that, what do they usually refer to themselves as, the land of opportunity, or the glowing references around the world. It's not the same anymore. The power and the might that they once held is not the same, but they have the same reach and influence and controls. And guess what? Our people will forever and always be very easy targets from the top to the very bottom. So for the ones who are, thinking about leaving Jamaica, maybe you might want to rethink going out of your country without proper documentation. Because if you think it's Florida alone, you better think again. And as I say, we have very short memory when it comes to the things that our ancestors endure. And we are very forgiving towards people who cannot stand you. You won't forgive yourself, but you're prepared to forgive those who forever show you that their true purpose and intention is to keep you under their feet. Now they're exception to the rule. I hate to have to say that. I hate to have to say not all persons are the same, and that there are people from other race that, is welcoming and love. It's a given. But there's far too much people that show at every given turn they don't like you. So you can't live your life trying to focus on people who like you. You have to love yourself first. Okay? And you have to start sending the message You are important. Every human being is important. But when you make people make you feel like they're more valuable, when you're the ones who provide the value, you are the true valuable person. These ones who are so wicked in their intention cannot live without you. So if you are going to say, I can't stay in your space without regulations, then our people should be saying the same. But our people open their door to everybody. Listen, people come from all over the world, and when they come to Jamaica, you see Jamaicans taking them to every crevice, every corner, every cubicle, telling every damn thing. You can't even have a private conversation before someone, one of our own people, interpreting to these ones. And every plan we have, we come brawl out and tell it. You know, every idea. That's why a lot of things, even when you think about the Airbnb in Jamaica, you know, everybody and their great-grandmother started doing this, which is a good thing. But at the same time, that industry will soon be shut down. Because every time we're doing something, we don't know how to keep our mouth shut. We tell everything. And I say I include myself. I've learned now not to tell everything, especially when it comes to building and growing. We bring people everywhere, tell them every damn thing. We have no secret. We have no trade secrets. If the place was taken by force, we would have no hiding place, because our people, even the ones in our midst, some of the Rastafarians that, you know, understood or should understand the assignment, you see them taking people through their field, taking them in the hills, showing everything. And a lot of these people come as friends, and they're not friends. They just come to use and to access and to take by force. Think about these things. I tried finishing this video in 3 different locations. I had to move. And so just some things to think about. Not to anger you, but to awaken you. Stay blessed, everyone.